Hello, Art. Welcome back. Week 7. Discussing sharing your living arts experience. Share about one of your experiences with living arts, one, two, or three. Um, Using your written response from the assignment, create a video showing your experience for the sake of time. Yada, yada, yada. In what ways do you see a worldview presented? Yeah, so I'm going to talk about my first one. This is when I went to a metal band or whatever sub genre metal band they are, Cattle Decapitation, and saw a few other there. I can't remember their openers. They had 3 openers, but I was at the Roseland Theater. It was really fun. Went with some of my friends and my girlfriend. It was awesome. What ways do you see our worldview presented? Can you identify a point of view of the creator? A lot of it was actually surprisingly about community. So about almost every single opener and absolutely Cattle Decapitation was talking about the metal family or whatever. Not or whatever because it's important, but it was about community and kind of being together, even though people see it's weird, it's kind of ostracized, it's kind of strange because not everyone's into heavy slam core death grind metal. And so in that there's this sort of togetherness, right? It's kind of if you're going through a really hard major with someone, you kind of bond over the weirdness and the difficulty of it. I think that was a big worldview presented, was that I don't think a lot of people would think about, is community. Another thing was there was a lot of people would the singers would be talking before a song and they'd be like my brother passed away or something, call your loved ones, make sure the people are in your life feel loved and are seen, call your parents, call your thing. And it was actually, and then they'd go talking, they'd go sing a song about smashing your face with a concrete brick or something. And it's kind of funny, but yeah, it was actually quite the opposite of what you'd expect. Did the work present one worldview over the other? I think so. Obviously, it's not like a jazz club. The worldview was definitely rebellion, being different, but being emphatically into something and whatever. But it definitely had a certain kind of people. And yeah, well, it asks about history. I don't know the history of these bands, but they've been going for a long time, and I'm sure they've seen the numbers grow, the community grow. That I think is pretty awesome to them, and unique to them as well. Because I don't think people are talking about their dead brothers at jazz fests. Not that I've seen. What does this work art reveal about its own culture? How long am I at right now? 3 minutes. Does work art reveal its own culture? Yeah, it values less what they're making, but what their art does to the community. So it's not just oh, look, I'm so talented. A lot of pop music's oh my gosh, look at all my expensive stuff. Look at, I have a Rollie on my wrist. I have so many B words. It's it's instead about difficulties and persevering, and even though it's the music's grotesque, but it's supposed to feel that way, oh, this is weird and difficult, but through that something cool comes out of it. Does your culture hold the same values and beliefs? I think so. I think people value community, people value being or the idea of camaraderie, which came out of that, and also just being emphatically what you want to do. People weren't embarrassed to they were moshing, they were punching people, they were kicking, they were doing whatever, and it's just letting what is in out and not being embarrassed by that. I think is pretty cool. Can you make any connections across multiple cultures? Yeah, there were white and black and brown and all sorts of colored people there, and it was awesome. And there's a disabled guy. He freaking got lifted up on a wheelchair and people were throwing him around and he was loving it. That's pretty cross-cultured. Yeah, I think persevering through struggle is pretty cross-culture. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm gonna stare at you now. Okay, bye.